Ugh. All that work for tomorrow, and now I gotta put on a new shirt because my last one I'm saving for another day. Ugh. Nobody better fat shame me. Alright. Much better. Alright, so what day is it again? September 6th. Alright. Let me get my script. Alright, here we go. Hello and welcome to KamenRider Blackman, where it's our 2-year anniversary.
Nigga, we made it. Hey. Damn, we made it. Nigga, we made
Man,
it.
like, anytime I want to celebrate something, I just want that to be the song for it. like anytime Linkara has a blah 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 year anniversary and they use the Smash Bros theme song, let this song be my opening for any special event. But yeah, 2 years, 2 full years. Where's my drink? Damn it, I forgot it. I'll get it later. Oh, no, there it is. Anywho, 2 years. We are celebrating 2 full years of KamenRider Blackman being on YouTube, period. Woohoo! Wow. I just knew coming up for my 2-year anniversary, I wanted to do something special. But before getting into anything else, first of all, thank you to everyone who has stayed watching my channel since day one. Or if you're new and have just gotten into watching my videos, thank you very much. Because now you are all here so that we can celebrate something at least important to me. And that is 2 years of doing this. I remember when I started doing this such a long time ago, when I still had dreads, and my editing skills were not as tight as they are now. My editing skills still aren't as tight, but they're good enough for the most part. But yeah, for 2 full years, I wanted to do something special to celebrate. And I knew, actually, this is something I've been planning to do for a while now. And it was, of course, I'm going to review KamenRider W. I'm just trying to reflect, but it's not going anywhere. Point is, yeah, to celebrate my 2-year anniversary, not only will we be reviewing the show KamenRider W, but we are also doing W month for the month of September. So it's a 2-in-1 special. We get to review and watch anything KamenRider W, and also celebrate the 2-year anniversary for the month of the 2-year anniversary. So, we're reviewing the show today, and let's just go over the schedule before I forget anymore how to talk. So, right now we're doing the show, and so next week we will be looking at the A to Z movie. Then the week after that, we will be looking at the KamenRider Axel movie, and to wrap up September, we'll be looking at KamenRider Eternal. Woo! 2 years. So much has happened in these 2 years. Little progress on the channel, but at least I'm doing things that I said that I wanted to do. I wanted to branch out more on my channel, and I have at least done that. Because let me look back and think. I've reviewed Ryukendo. I've reviewed Gridman. I reviewed Toei Spider-Man. What else? Oh, I've actually reviewed Metalder, Metal Hero series. I cannot believe I reviewed so many different stuff this year, and I can't wait for more stuff that I can review that I haven't seen yet. Heck, I haven't seen all of Showa yet. I've only seen, so far, V3, Black RX, and Super 1. And going into the future, I want to watch Kamen Rider Stronger. I actually want to check out Kamen Rider V3 and Amazon. I want to check out the Showa era. And hopefully I get to, because not a lot of shows are actually subbed. But hopefully I can get to what I can. But I also just want to watch more stuff in the future. I guess what I'm trying to say is thank you all for watching. And I would like to be, and maybe I do also want to thank this platform, YouTube, for letting me, it's something where I can express myself on. I'm a bit of a nerd in the tokusatsu genre, and there's nothing really, and I never really had anything to express myself about it. And so, as opposed to like fan groups online, but to show it to a broader audience, this is cool. Well, with that said, let's get into the anniversary review with Kamen Rider W. So, with that said, Umai no Sui no Kyazero. God damn, the lighting made it darker on my face. As per usual, let's start off where we usually do, with the opening. To be frank, I like it. I like how it has that detective noir style in it, and yet makes it, well, modern. It describes what some of the events or how the show is, with the scenery, talking about the city. I think the best part about the song is that it's a duo, and each singer has a part. Pretty spot on. The first episode opens up with action and shooting that I've already covered from the W Decade team up. Go watch that video for more details. Needless to say, someone gets shot and dies, and 2 people become a Kamen Rider. So let's start off with the base form, Cyclone Joker. Alright, so Cyclone Joker. I like the suit. The material for it is really different, and the more I look at it and see it in motion, I kind of understand it a bit more. But one thing that really, it's just that the material for this suit is pretty different. Like, it's not just under clothing and armor on top, which is what I usually like a bit more. But I think that's because I'm used to it. But this is just interesting, but in a good way still. Because I still like how the designs are everywhere on the body. I like the black and green on the sides, how it blends in other colors as well. And everything, it's a good suit. And for those who call it Kamen Rider Double, yeah, I side with the people that call it Kamen Rider W, because a W is freaking everywhere. When they activate the belt, it makes a W. On their forehead, it makes a W. Hell, even on the chest, it technically makes a W. So yeah, I don't know what the creators are going for, if they were planning to call it Kamen Rider Double, but I think they realized, I don't know, maybe they realized what they were doing or what they made, so they just said, screw it, W. Anywho, let's talk about the other forms and the collectibles in this season, since in the first episode, W starts out with all of his main forms. So now, the collectibles in this season are called Gaia Memories, which are USB drives with superpowers. Now, the first 2 are, of course, Cyclone Joker, because W's powers are set in halves. Philip on the left is connected to the Gaia Memories with superpowers, being Cyclone, Heat, and Luna, which are wind, fire, and illusions. And Shoto is the right side, connected to the fighting style memories, which are Joker, Trigger, and Metal. So Joker is hand to hand, Trigger is gun, and Metal is staff. And so stat for melee combat. And now that I think about it, I think W is the first Kamen Rider to have horizontal form changes, since they can mix and match their memories, and no other rider before them was able to do that with their forms. And so, months later in the show proper, Philip and Shotaro reside at the Narumi Detective Agency. And so, let's lay down the groundwork. The first episode is connected to the W Decade Movie War movie, which I've already reviewed, so go check that video out for more context. But for right now, let's lay down the groundwork. The man who got shot was Shotaro's boss and mentor, Shokichi Narumi, an infamous hard-boiled detective whose alias asked for a favor. Shokichi and Shotaro were tasked to collect and protect an amnesiac child with special powers related to the collectibles of the season, the Gaia memories. And what else Gaia memories are? They are USB drives that give superpowers, but they also make their users into supermen. But in other words, it makes them into monsters called dopants, because Gaia memories are illegal to have because they risk making the user into a monster obsessed with power. And for dopant, it's actually short for doping. So, yeah, Gaia memories are basically like drugs. And so, in the city of Futo, we meet our first supporting character, Akiko Narumi, Shotaro's boss's daughter. Why she's basically part of the cast and hangs around them is because she's their landlord and was going to evict them in the first episode. But instead, she doesn't do that, and they all become friends. Forcefully, because she's still annoying to Shotaro, and Philip doesn't mind her. And abusive. Akiko is also abusive at times. Whenever she pulls out her slippers, she always has a kanji on them for the reasoning why and everything. Like, anytime she pulls out a slipper, she's prepared to whoop that ass at the back of your head. As detectives, Shotaro and Philip take on cases that will lead them to a dopant committing a crime. And for detectives, Philip looks up information by consciously entering the planet's bookshelves, which is a bright white room with books all over so that Philip can gather information on the monster of the week, while Shotaro uses contacts to gather clues on crimes. Said contacts are the side characters in this show. There's the info dealer, who I don't like for his hair. I just think it's weird. Santa Claus. Literally Santa Claus. Turns out Santa isn't fat and white. Turns out he's bald and Japanese. And he's in this show. And lastly, Queen and Elizabeth. High school girls that are intelligent and possessing information too. Now, let's talk about the villains of the show, shall we? And before getting to the villains, the reason why I'm going from one thing to the other so far is because the first episode is pretty simple. There's a short clip of backstory, which I already covered from the movie, and the rest of the show is just there's a case, and it all works in a two-part episode style. And with that said, I'll be talking about 2 episodes at a time because the cases actually share importance when both are together. And so, now going back to the villains, the first person we technically meet is the Taboo Dopant, who is part of Museum, a Gaia memory distributing organization owned by the Sonozaki family. The Taboo Dopant is the oldest daughter, Saiko Sonozaki. Her and her husband are hands-on with memory sales. And her husband is Kirihiko, the Nazca Dopant. The youngest daughter, Wakana, is the Claydol Dopant, and her father, Ryubei Sonozaki, is the Terror Dopant. Now, what some Dopants are based off of, as seen in one episode where Shotaro is in a museum with the inspiration of some monsters there as exhibits, like they're based off of things that came from the Earth, either from evolution or history. Clay doll, for example, goes way back to the pre-dynasty of ancient Egypt, where the clay doll Dopant is actually the most worked on for a motif because its regeneration abilities are based off of a guarantee of rebirth that paddle dolls symbolize during burials. Now, the Nazca Dopant, on the other hand, is based off of geoglyphs in Peru called the Nazca lines. And the Terror Dopant is the most difficult to describe because I want to say he's something based off of Aztec history, maybe. If I'm wrong, could someone tell me? Now, the only one that I have no idea on is the Taboo Dopant, because just what the hell is that thing? And these are our villains. Even their cat Miku is a Dopant. He's the Smilodon Dopant. And a Smilodon, of course, is a saber-toothed tiger. Now, one last thing I'll say about the villains is that this is the first Kamen Rider series that I have reviewed where the villains have minions. And in this case, they have the Masquerade Dopants, which are just random people, whoever, that just have masquerade memories and insert them, making them into people with face mask and still have suits on, basically. Yeah, it's about it for the Masquerade Dopants. And so, as said before, Philip is an amnesiac. He doesn't remember who he actually is. And the thing about that is that small details that are mentioned to him set him off. Like, when he hears the word family, he shuts down mentally. And another thing that comes later, in episodes 13 and 14, first of all, the youngest Sonozaki daughter, Wakana, is a radio show host and has a stalker attacking landmarks near her for her affection. Yes, she also comes off as a total bitch to everyone except Philip because she's intrigued by how smart she is, and he brings out the good side of her. That's not like everyone else in her family. And if I can get off topic for a second, I want to say something about the Sonozaki family. They're all dicks. Like, I'm not kidding. These people are professionals at being assholes. They're just so rude to each other, so hard. Yeah, and another interesting thing that'll be touched on later is that Wakana talks about her family and how she had a little brother that died early on, and Philip noticed that she knew about Gaia memories. That sounds actually quite interesting, but we'll save that for later. For right now, episodes 15 and 16, Adopon has been out impersonating W, and it turns out to be a trap for Philip by Museum. Shoto and Akiko are captured, and Philip retreats to avoid abduction. And there's also another thing. W actually has 7 memories. The 7th one is called Fang, and the Fang memory was created to protect Philip in the case of Shotaro being held up in a situation like this one.
Fang allows Philip to be in the driver's seat while Shotaro's the comatose one, but after the first use, Philip was terrified by the power. But due to circumstances, Philip uses Fang.
Let's talk about Fang Joker, since it is W's mid-season form. I like it. It's not bad. Black and white. Simple. It's good. It's clever. And I just now realized this. Like, Joker has freaking edges popping out. Like, before, like, think about this. Cyclone Joker, Joker is all sleek and fine. Fang Joker, edges popping out. And I also like the weapon that it gets. Nice. And you want to know something that I just thought about now? It's not just the aesthetics, but the colors that go along with it. Like black, white, but also purple. Like, you never really see those colors together. But I think what really holds it all is that silver line in the middle. And with that there, it's just, the colors on this form just gel together is all. And it just looks nice. And so, afterwards, Fang stays around and stays obedient to Philip, while this and the next few episodes play up to a new character. So, episodes 17 and 18, I should have mentioned this earlier, but W, or in particular Shotaro, has had a rivalry up till now with Kirihiko, and it reaches its conclusion here. After a Gaia memory was sold to children, W calls the Nazca Dopant out on it, and while Kirihiko doesn't give two shits about adults buying them, he draws the line with kids because, yeah, no, using Gaia memories is like doing drugs. No, don't do drugs, kids. Don't. And after Kirihiko contemplates all over the place, in episode 18, he comes to the realization that Museum was wrong for selling kit for Okay, I got it now. Episode 18, after he comes to the realization that Museum was wrong for selling to children, he helps W defeat the bird Dopant without almost killing the user. And that's why selling Gaia memories to kids is bad. Not just because they'll change, but because since kids aren't fully developed mentally yet, the effects could be more dangerous, successful or not.
Kirihiko takes his leave, wanting his wife Sayako to join him, and instead she kills him and takes back the Nazca memory.
Because not only was this a murder, but now we know that this divorce had a prenup.